Hey everyone, I'm Mariana, and today I wanted to talk to you about Wind River. I actually saw this movie a couple of weeks ago, but I never got around to filming a review, and I wanted to make sure I film one because this movie has definitely stuck with me. The movie came out in the beginning of August in very limited release, and it has been expanding to more and more theaters ever since then, and this weekend it's going to be on even more screens, so if it's playing anywhere near you, I highly recommend you checking it out. Wind River is written and directed by Taylor Sheridan. This is the second film that he's directed. He did a low-budget horror film, Vile, that came out back in 2011, but he did not write that one. However, you are more likely to remember him for writing Sicario and Hell or High Water. Both of these movies were actually on my top 10 lists for 2015 and 2016, and Wind River concludes his modern American frontier trilogy, as he calls it. The movie is a murder mystery set on the Wind River Indian Reservation in Wyoming. We meet Corey, played by Jeremy Renner, who hunts predators in the area, and as he's looking for a mountain lion, he stumbles upon a corpse of a young girl. We also get introduced to Jane, played by Elizabeth Olsen, who is a young FBI agent sent to investigate the crime scene. She quickly realizes she's going to need some help, so her and Corey team up to figure out what is going on. Now, just like most people, I find murder mysteries interesting. It's an easy genre to get into, and the mystery aspect of it keeps you engaged. But with Wind River, what really sold me on the film were the characters, the way it explores grief, and the way it shows an environment and wants to address things that aren't done very often in movies. You could easily just watch and enjoy it as this atmospheric and gritty murder mystery, but there is so much more to this film, just like in Sicario and Hell or High Water. I keep bringing up those two other films because along with Wind River, they're meant to make this thematic trilogy, and if you watch Wind River with the other two in mind, you can very obviously see that they are supposed to tackle similar themes. Particularly with Sicario, it is very easy to draw parallels between that and Wind River. Both films have a female FBI agent who is in a bit over her head, but never comes off as weak and has her own set of skills along with a very strong desire to do what's right. Both have a male lead who is very familiar with the environment, but also has a relevant past that is slowly revealed throughout the movie. All three films deal with death and loss and personal justice contrasted with justice through law. I can't really say much more than that because I don't want to get into spoilers, but all I have to say is that if you enjoyed Sicario and Hell or High Water for the themes that they tried to tackle, you will definitely find Wind River interesting as well, particularly if you really enjoyed Sicario. And if you haven't seen any of these movies, then you are seriously missing out. As far as performances go, the cast of Wind River is excellent. It was really good to see Elizabeth Olsen and Jeremy Renner do roles they can really work with emotionally. Not to say that they haven't done this before, but more recently we've been seeing them within the MCU, which doesn't quite offer the depth of character for them. Jeremy Renner in particular is just great here. I think this is my favorite role out of what I've seen him do. Yes, before anyone asks, I have seen The Hurt Locker. I would also like to point out Gil Birmingham, who plays the father of the dead girl. His performance is very powerful, and the scenes between him and Jeremy Renner were some of the most memorable in the entire film for me. And he was great in Hell or High Water too, so it was really good to see him again. Visually, Wind River is not quite at the level of Sicario. This is almost an unfair comparison because Denis Villeneuve and Roger Deakins are pretty difficult to beat. And this isn't to say that it's not a good-looking film. There are some gorgeous shots in Wind River, but it's just not quite at the top for me. Also, as far as the pacing goes, the movie does take its time, particularly in the first half. And while I wouldn't necessarily say it's too slow because I was never bored watching it, I did feel the runtime in Wind River more than I felt it with the other two films in the trilogy. And by the way, I just want to reiterate that this is a thematic only trilogy and there aren't any continuous storylines between the movies. So if you haven't seen the other two films, you can still go watch Wind River. It's not going to affect your understanding of the story. Overall, Wind River is a very good murder mystery with quite a bit of depth that I really enjoyed and would definitely recommend. As far as a rating goes, this is a solid 4 out of 5 for me. I am very interested in seeing more of Taylor Sheridan's work because Sicario is right there for me, and then Hell or High Water is just right under it, and then Wind River is just under that. So I very much enjoy how he writes his stories and the kinds of stories he chooses to tell. But that's it for my review of Wind River. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the movie if you've seen it already, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!